What's going on, guys? It's Jay here. Another quick little video here. This is Faith Evolved. And I'm frustrated. Definitely frustrated. And it's probably a appropriate response for being stuck. Even though, you see, this is it right here. I know I'm not stuck. I'm free. I'm, an eternal being. I'm full of life and vitality and love and all this, but at the same time, I'm in this 3D body and 3D world, and frustrated by the fact that I have so many ideas and so many just thoughts and revelations and sensations and feelings and understandings and knowings, yet nobody to share them with except for this dog right here. Hey, bear. So this is gonna be like a mini rant, but I'm listening to Conversations with God right now, and I hear about, what they call HEBs, highly evolved beings, and the society they live in. They're just open with their feelings, and they don't tell lies. They think of everybody as one. They just, enjoy each other's company. There's no secrets. They even walk around naked because there's no shame, there's no guilt, all right? They just live, just full lives, living and doing what they love instead of like having to work these menial jobs, and even just their whole just life is just like full of purpose and meaning. And yet we live in this planet and we struggle even to get food in our plates sometimes. We're, money in the bank, clothes on our back. And thank God I live in America where I have these things, and I've been well provided for, well fed, and well clothed and well, sheltered. But at the same time, my frustration is the feeling of separation. Supposedly the biggest illusion, but I have no proof of that. My biggest frustration is my entire life I have felt separate, stuck in my own head, in my own mind, and my own body. And one of the worst feelings in the world is realizing, especially if you're married or been married, that no matter how hard you try, you don't feel close to anybody. And when you try to get close to somebody, or an opportunity arises to where you can be close to somebody, the anxiety comes up, that social anxiety, that fear of what if I'm too vulnerable? What if I'm too sensitive? What if they think I'm weird? Or what if, even around my kids sometimes, or, around friends and family, I, end up being kind of silent or kind of more inside when it comes to what I'm going through, my thoughts and feelings, or even love. It's almost like it's too weird to show affection, especially as a man, and it's frustrating, like that fear of, now I'm 37 years old. Am I ever going to get that again, or ever? Because I can't even remember, like maybe a few occasions of just that connection with somebody else. When you're driving down the street, you're listening to this amazing song. Like I love bands from Sweden and Norway and Finland, like melodic metal bands. And I listen to a lot of Nightwish and Amaranth and a bunch of other maybe heavier, more extreme bands like Soilwork or Children of Bodom, Scar Symmetry. So I enjoy that melodic, passionate kind of music that they write over there. And their soaring vocals and guitar solos and just, amazing melodies. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, nobody cares about this stuff, Why is this so amazing to me? Why am I so enamored by this? Why am I so passionate about it? Everybody else around me is listening to, music on the radio, like pop music or hip hop, which I can't stand most of, and everybody's so into it. And to me, it sounds more simplistic, Yeah, when I hear classical music or, intricate technical jazz, that's popular in less, in much smaller groups. And why is that? Why is the stuff that's more simple, more palatable to the masses? I don't understand. So I equate that to my spiritual thought life and the thoughts and feelings and emotions I have. And it's like, it's so frustrating to have those understandings and knowings and not be able to share it with anybody. I have a couple of friends that I can talk to about this stuff. One of them is Christian Sundberg, and I want to shout out to Christian Sundberg. You're an amazing dude. He sees me. You know how you see someone and they don't even have to say anything, you just know. You can kind of just sense that there's a connection there's a bond. Like, that's the kind of thing we have, and we've never met in person, but, hopefully someday we can. so maybe I'll really feel it, but he sees me, and like gets me, and that's the one thing I will have to say as a good thing about my, ex-wife is she was another person who was able to see me for who I was when nobody else could, when either somebody else would ignore me or worse, bully or pick on me. And there's some people that just somehow are able to see. I don't know if it's just like a superpower they have, but they can kind of see who I am as a person, even when I can't see it in myself. So it's frustrating, it's frustrating feeling like there's so much more you can give, there's so much more you can be, and yet everybody else around you is either, they're not even awakened yet, never mind enlightened. They're stuck in their own world, their own box, dealing with their own stuff. And not that I'm not either. Of course, I got many things I'm struggling with still, just being in a physical form. But I hear about these societies and these, these what's called Hebs or highly evolved beings. In the book called Conversations with God, which is actually very similar to some of the descriptions in the Rant book about some of these cultures that are far more advanced than ours, and other planets. And it's like, wow. I get so jealous. Like I long so much for that kind of environment where I can just be myself and flourish instead of feeling stuck in this 1-bedroom apartment in planet Earth with like barely any friends, and the friends that I do have, I can't even talk to them about the things I'm passionate about or that I get. It's that being separated, It's, I guess this is, as Christian would say, this is the experience. This is what we signed up for, And I get that this is what we signed up for, but man, I don't remember making that decision. I don't remember deciding that I want to come here and, and do this, and it says, some people are like, in these highly evolved cultures, they don't even live in houses, and I'm like, oh, look at me. I live in a big box, a big round, square box, it's like, I'm like a little sardine just, packed into this, little 1-bedroom apartment, and there's tons of them all around me. I mean, there's hundreds of units here, and the place I'm moving to next week has, even more units. It's like, just we're all living in these apartments or these houses, and either way, we're, either we're living in the country and we're all separated, or we're living in the city and we're still separated because, we're all, just living in our apartments, living in our own world. And there's a few people out there that somehow are still making these connections and making friendships and making bonds, finding soulmates and twin flames. And you still see it happening, but it's like now with the pandemic and COVID, it's like more and more people are just stuck at home. It's like at the worst possible time where, technology is advancing and, we're becoming more and more, reliant on technology and less reliant on skills, like people skills, or even like using your hands and using your brain. We got technology doing everything for us. So at the worst possible time where technology could destroy civilization, we got this pandemic that's forcing us even more to be socially distanced. And I think this is the biggest frustration right now for me, is as I'm just trying to get out of the separation mode, out of the separation mindset, I don't know where to go to meet people. There's certain groups that are online. Yeah, sure. You can talk to people. You can do Zoom. You can do Facebook Messenger or whatever, Facebook groups, even, Meetup. But it's like, it's not the same as being in person. That energy, it's just not the same, This is coming from someone who's basically a hermit, a recluse, all my life. And I know that this is not the way it should be. I want to get out there. I want to meet people and maybe find another partner at some point. So anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. This is just, part of the frustrations of the separation. That's what I'm going to call this video. And I'll probably have more, just observations or frustrations that I'm noticing about being in this separated world, and the illusion of, us all being separate when somehow we're all one, and I just can't fathom that. I've never had that experience, and my friend would be laughing right now saying, man, you're really into the illusion. You're really into this, belief that you're separate when fundamentally we're all one, It's like, imagine like the most important thing about our entire existence, the most important fact, the number one fact is that we're, that there's a God and that we're all part of God. We're all one. Like that is like the number one fundamental fact of the entire universe. Yet, even here, somehow, the veil is so thick that I can't even sense that. I get fleeting glimpses of it. You know, it's like I can't even imagine what it's like to feel that. And that's what was part of my, you know, mental breakdown a year and a half ago, was just realizing that loss, you know, that I was even feeling the loss of connection to my own self. You know, it's crazy. This world will do a number on you. It'll mess with your head. So, anyways, folks, hope this helped somebody just realize that they're not alone in this, ironically, even though we feel completely alone most of the time. All right, folks, God bless.